Visions of the future. A wrong turn. A wrong turn. A wrong turn. A wrong turn. A wrong turn.
Hello again, this is the fourth in our series of short films, Visions of the Future. We've covered several categories or subgenres so far, and I'd like to go to really what I think is probably one of the most popular and well-known examples that we see in our screens in various different forms. When we think of the idea of a wrong turn, I suppose what we're talking about is
the immoral made moral.
One can think of elements of the previous definition here as being buried within this one, in that the great unravelling is very close to the idea of a wrong turn. There are overlaps, and it could even say that a state of decay and apathy would maybe lead us to this point, as defined by various filmmakers, practitioners and writers. So the idea of a great unravelling, which we spoke about in the last film, could well be a stepping stone towards this concept of the future. But when one speaks or thinks of dystopia, this is the concept which is usually what they're referring to. A wrong turn here means where a world, a society has deviated from progress and freedom, and the very nature of our everyday has become turned inside out. A wrong turn addresses the loss of freedom, losses of movement, independent thought and action. Often many of these dystopic societies are governed by a fascistic or distorted political and moral belief system. We have systems of repression maintained through some justification, be it about a disaster, an event, or a set of fears maybe. This idea of dystopia is about intrusions into the personal sphere from outside forces, be it corporate, authoritarian, or a system that we have put in place for ourselves. Now, the most influential literary model for this idea is, of course, George Orwell's book 1984, where he depicts a society dominated by thought police, news and information manipulation, political catchphrases, and the subjugation of language and communication in general to maintaining power. The constant government surveillance embodied by The Party in 1984 deals in subjugating and restricting human behaviour as thought crime. A wrong turn offers, as perhaps its most terrifying feature, is this idea of a blindly obedient and apathetic society. One that appears happy to be repressed and refuses to question the often absurdist and strange rules that dominate that society. But in most of the narratives that discuss this idea, we usually focus on a protagonist who's become enlightened or see through the mechanisms of power and control that others happily accepted. And of course, these are very broad definitions that cover a vast variety of films, television, books, comics and so forth. Let's have a look at the short montage. There's some unusual films in there. There's some films that you'll probably know quite well. But here we go. This is what I mean by a wrong turn.
Visions of the future. A wrong turn.
What happens in Room 101 is the worst thing in the world.
Do you remember writing in your diary that freedom is the freedom to say two and two make four?
Yes.
How many fingers am I holding up, Winston?
4.
And if the father says it is not 4 but 5, then how many?
4.
If they could make me stop loving you, that would be the real truth. I love Big Brother.
Please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more films and items of interest. Visions of the future. Post-apocalyptic stories.